Happy Saturday, everyone. Welcome back to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. Hope everybody's having a great start to their holiday weekend out there and have wonderful weather as well. If you are new to the channel and not yet subscribed, make sure you do subscribe to the channel down below for detailed weather breakdowns across North America and the tropics. We will keep you covered here with accurate weather forecasts. Also, be sure to press the like button down below. It helps out more than you know. Going across the United States and southern Canada this morning, here are your low temperatures, and we need to bundle up if you are heading out to any shopping out there or just going outdoors in general here for the start of the weekend. The freezing line is all the way south into portions of the southern plains and also the mid-south as we go into this morning. Temperatures across much of the north central United States is in the low to mid 20s, and then you have the teens and single digits with your temperatures across southern Canada this morning. No matter how you slice it though, our temperature anomalies are above average for the most part across southern Canada and the northern tier of the United States as well, and really out west. So that's where we see the above average temperatures. We see the below average temperatures, at least slightly so by a handful of degrees across the lower Mississippi Valley and across the southeast as we go through this morning. Here are your high temperatures arriving into the afternoon. This is wonderful for the end of December the 30th. Can't complain here. Teens and single digits to the north across southern Canada and the northern U.S. there. And then 40s, 50s, and yes, even some 60s down here across the Lone Star State of Texas as we go into this afternoon. Here's what we're dealing with our weather pattern out there. We have that blocking ridge of high pressure across much of Canada that's leaving us high and dry across much of Canada and across much of the central United States. Here is our system that has taken its sweet time moving across the country, finally making it to the East Coast today. And then we have a new system worth keeping an eye on moving through the Sacramento Valley and the West Coast as we go into the start of this holiday weekend. So here are your current weather conditions across the United States. We do have some snow showers, even some rain mixing in here from portions of Maine back through Vermont, New Hampshire, and then into portions of the mid-Atlantic. This isn't going to be heavy precipitation. A lot of this will be light and few and far between as well. Notice across the central U.S., we see very dry conditions as the influence of that high pressure ridge will be in control with dry weather. And then our new storm system moving into the west coast, bringing us some rainfall, some moderate pockets of rain there across Washington State, Oregon, much of California there, the Sierras getting some decent snows as well currently. And as we go through today, we're going to be seeing some snow showers. It won't be a widespread heavy snow for anybody across the Northeast or the Mid-Atlantic, but we could be seeing some pockets of some light to perhaps moderate snow, with the heaviest of the more steady snowfall up across Maine. That could be moving down into portions of Vermont, New Hampshire, upstate New York, and then the Appalachians through West Virginia there into western PA as well. We do have some snow flurries across northern Minnesota, but for the most part, the central U.S. will be quiet today. And then we have some sporadic rain and snow showers out across the west today as well. As we go into tonight, we have a quick moving clipper system moving across the upper Midwest, some light snow showers here across the Twin Cities, back into Madison, Wisconsin, La Crosse, Duluth, Minnesota, those areas as we go into tonight, with leftover snow showers and flurries across the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast from that earlier storm system finally moving off to the east. All in all, though, we're really not too concerned about our precipitation amounts here in the short range. Going through Sunday on New Year's Eve on the 31st of December, notice the rainfall amounts aren't going to be very impressive for the Northeast or the Mid-Atlantic. The heaviest of the rains will be back here into the Sacramento Valley into California. That's where we could be seeing up to an inch of rain. And notice the snowfall here over the next 24 hours. Very low, very light precipitation there. Some snowfall snowfall across the Northeast and the Sacramento Valley, especially the Sierras there. Notice the Sierras, potentially over a foot of snow in those highest of elevations. That's really all we see out here to the west. And then very light snow there, the Appalachians into West Virginia and western PA, up to an inch and a half of snow. Same thing can be said for upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire there, and then the heaviest of snow will be across northern Maine, but even that will be about on the order of 2 to 3 inches as we go through the next 24 hours. As we turn into Sunday, here's your New Year's Eve high temperatures for the last day of 2023, and really can't complain here. We got colder weather to the north, but we're still talking double digits above zero, so still nothing we can't handle here. We have the milder air further south, again pushing 70 down here into San Antonio, Texas, as we go into New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve night, as we are getting ready for our New Year's festivities out there. Bundle up if you are headed out across Canada or the United States. It will be chilly. The freezing line will be dropping further south into Texas, the Dallas-Fort Worth area at 32, 29 there in Little Rock, 32 into Nashville, and also over there toward Asheville, North Carolina, into the middle 20s for your New Year's Eve night. Then as we turn into the first day of 2024, here are your high temperatures on Monday. You can see really not much cold air either. So definitely seeing a nice start to 2024 with our temperatures out there. We are tracking a weak clipper system moving out of Canada into the upper Midwest and the Ohio Valley, though, as we go into tomorrow on New Year's Eve. That you can see this with the vorticity. And this basically just shows you the lift and the spin in the atmosphere. The brighter the colors, the more lift and spin there is in the atmosphere. And you can see as we go into New Year's Day, that will be diving across the Midwest, the Great Lakes, into the Ohio Valley, and eventually the Mid-Atlantic during that time frame. And when it does, it will have enough cold air. Temperatures will be mostly below freezing into the 20s and low 30s out there. We will be supporting some heavier wet snow at times, so it'll be that slushy variety snow, and it will be sporadic as well. So not a major snowstorm by any means, but definitely you can see as we go from New Year's Eve day into New Year's Eve night, as we're watching the ball drop there across the country for 2024 to start. Could be seeing some snow showers for parts of Indiana there, Ohio, getting into New York State, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, those areas, Western Maryland even getting in on some snow there Sunday night. Then as we go into New Year's Day, really the country pretty quiet outside of a few snow showers and snow flurries. Really no impactful weather to speak of as we turn into the first full day of 2024. And here's that system we were just talking about, dropping southeast out of Canada into the Midwest, the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley, and then eventually the Mid-Atlantic. Not really seeing much in the way of precipitation with this, and not really much of snowfall either. Up to an inch, maybe 2 inches, worst case scenario with this. But a lot of this will be melting on contact with the ground because those ground temperatures are so warm, because we have seen a lot of mild temperatures for late December. Things do change, though, as we get beyond the first day of January. We're going to start to break down this weather pattern a little bit from January 2nd through the January 7th time frame. Now, it will take time. We need to be patient. I know there's a lot of snow lovers out there that are just waiting and waiting for the snow. It will be coming later in January. I'm very confident in that, and let's show you the breakdown here. So from January 2nd through the 7th time frame, you can see the blue anomalies across the southern United States and the eastern U.S. here. That's with that negative NAO, the negative North American Oscillation, and the negative AO, the negative Arctic Oscillation as well. You see a little bit of some blocking over the top across portions there of southern Canada and the northern U.S. with the high pressure system. That will squeeze a lot of those below normal temperatures further south. Here are your temperatures from January 2nd through that January 7th time frame. Notice the real true Arctic air is still bottled up to the north here into the Arctics and northern Canada. So we don't have to worry about that for the first week of January. We're going to be seeing colder temperatures, but nothing crazy cold across the northern U.S., probably teens, 20s, and 30s, much like we are seeing this weekend. Milder weather to the south, and you can see here is your precipitation anomaly for that first week in January. Most of the U.S. going to be dry. That's what this yellow and orange represents. Notice the greens way down to the south near the southern U.S., especially across Texas, into the Gulf Coast and into parts of Florida here. And you can see the snow line does remain well to the north. It's going to be mostly too warm for the first 7 days of January to really get any meaningful snows and the really step down of that snowpack further to the south. But watch as things change, though, in a pretty significant way as we go into the second week of January. This is January 7th through the 12th time frame. Notice the blue anomaly showing up out west and really starting to move its way across the central U.S. as well with time towards the middle of January. And that may unlock winter for us, folks. We may have more of that Arctic air moving south as we go into that 7th through the 12th time frame. Now, the coldest of the Arctic air will likely remain still into Canada, but a lobe of that polar vortex may start to move further south. As we go into the northern U.S., we could be seeing below zero low temperatures during that time frame, and a more favorable storm track. Here's your jet stream as well, and you can see a big dip here with a very big long wave trough that moves across the southern U.S. You can see it lifting up across the east coast, and this is a favorable storm track with the cold air in place and the moisture off the Pacific Ocean. There you have it. The precipitation anomaly is showing up a lot further north and more widespread across the south central and eastern U.S. as well. And that has to do with that, again, that negative NAO controlling a little bit more of that eastern-based storm track as we go into the second week of January. And notice with that storm track, there's that snowpack diving further south here into the upper Midwest, into the central plains, and we also have it moving across parts of the northern Ohio Valley and interior New England. Now, there will be losers in this as well. I do think that portions of the southern Ohio Valley, the southeast, and maybe the I-95 corridor in coastal New England initially through the 12th of January really won't see much of an opportunity for snow because it will still be too warm. So mostly all rain for those communities. But here's the official forecast from the Climate Prediction Center and the experts over there through the 12th time frame. You have a slight to moderate risk of flash flooding and some heavier rainfall potential here for the southeast and the East Coast, including the I-95 corridor. So this does mean the I-95 corridor down across the southeast coast and near the Gulf Coast here will likely remain all rain with those systems through the 12th of January, whereas the snow line, as it will be dropping further south through the 12th, it won't quite make it down into North Texas or even the southeast U.S. We will have more of that across portions of the Appalachians, and then most of the Midwest, the northern Ohio Valley, the Great Lakes region, and then down into the central and parts of the southern plains, including the Texas Panhandle, Oklahoma, Kansas, and vicinity as we go through the middle of January. So be patient, folks. The weather will be changing. Cold and snow is on the way for most of us, and others may have to wait a little bit longer, maybe toward the second half of January, for things to even change further with that snow line dropping even further south than what we are showing here today. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel down below, especially for these detailed, accurate weather forecasts. I will be providing those to you moving forward. Also, be sure to press the like button down below again, and I do appreciate it. Share this video with friends, family, and on social media, and I hope everybody has a great holiday weekend out there.